Another beautiful day. It is the weekend, of course, and this is Talk Sport, the weekend edition. But when I say weekend edition, I'm not talking about Saturday or Sunday. The weekend starts from Friday for so many people, including myself. And this is the Friday edition of Talk Sport on Global Television. I am Ramsey Enoch, and let's talk about sport today. I will have my guests join me on the program as we talk sport, because many things are happening from the world of sport, and we will be bringing you the details. Oh my God! Congratulations to Emmanuel Obole, one outstanding player that made it in the CHAN. Then for the other things happening, well, the Flamingos are not out of the whole thing, because they are already making their wave, and of course their next match is going to be coming against Ghana. But then we know Ghana is a fierce rival of Nigeria, but then there is nothing to fear. One heartbreaking incident is the falling of Nigeria in the FIFA ranking, like the way Naira is actually falling. I think things are actually falling in the country right now. I don't know why, but then, well, I thought maybe the emergence of Ademola Lookman was going to give Nigeria some form of rep, but then it didn't make any difference in the FIFA ranking, as Nigeria is actually descending instead of ascending on the FIFA ranking. Details of this will be coming on your way on Talk Sports today with Ramsey, but then I will have my guest join me as we talk sports on this beautiful Friday morning. Of course, Phillips Uja, a sport analyst from Abuja, will be joining us via Zoom, and we will be talking sports today. Stay with us, because the Talk Sports show is for you, and of course is just that we are here moderating the show. It is all about you and not all about us. We will return for more of the stories and details, and that will be after this break. Back to Talk Sports on this wonderful Friday morning. Let's get to the FIFA ranking, as the Super Eagles are already on top of their game in the African champions. But then Lukman has made it happen, but then what about the ranking in FIFA? Super Eagles end 2024 as Africa's fifth best team after suffering what we call a massive drop last month. The Super Eagles were able to retain their traditional fifth spot in the continent, but ended the outing of the 2024 year with their worst FIFA ranking, and that's exactly what we're talking about. In 6 years, as they were rated the 44th best team in the world. That's not a good one at all for me, but I don't know what Phillips Uja is thinking about this. Phillips is already online, and he is joining via Zoom from the Federal Capital Territory. The three-time African champions won 9 and of course drew 4 and lost 5 matches in the outgoing year. And Super Eagles' biggest nightmare this year includes failing to win a single game after 4 rounds of matches in the 2026 World Cup qualifying campaign that has not left them vicariously on the verge of missing out on the Mundial. That's it. Nigeria's not making it, and of course it has been a wobbling performance of some sort, aside of their performance in the African Cup of Nations in 2023, finishing as runner-up to Cote d'Ivoire. The winners Eagle have already been fumbling and wobbling this outgoing year. Of course, their performance in the AFCON 2025 qualifier have been so discouraging, but then it's encouraging. As a matter of fact, let's don't say it's discouraging, because we need to at least praise these guys a little bit, because they were able to pick the tickets to Morocco with a game to spare, and that was not what it was actually meant for. The feat, according to the ranking release yesterday, Nigeria remained unchanged from its previous position despite a challenging international break. The ranking shows that Nigeria has so far what we call a significant decline this year, dropping 8 places to end 2024 rank 44th globally. That's not a it's not a good one for me. In contrast, South Africa's Bafana, one of the main rivals for the Super Eagles in the ongoing World Cup qualifier, African qualifying tournament, has expressed and of course experienced what we call a resurgence and climbing through positions to actually finish the year ranking 57th in the world. The improved reflects their recent form and successful matches during their qualifiers. Ghana also were able to face a similar difficulty, ending the year ranked 77th globally in the global standing. Argentina remain at the top of the FIFA ranking, followed by France, Spain, England, and of course Brazil, making up the top 5 ranking. Of course, reflect a total of 1,181 international matches that they've played throughout 2024. Well, Phillips Uja is already on right now. Phillips, I don't know what you feel about this FIFA ranking. Is it that FIFA was not fair to Nigeria? Good morning and welcome to the program, Phillips.
Yeah, good morning, Ramsey. Good morning, listeners and viewers at home. I think first and foremost, the ranking, I'm not surprised about the ranking, because it's the same position we are last month that we are maintaining, and the reason is far-fetched because we didn't play any match since then. The matches that we've played are still the same matches that have been used to judge us. So, and if care is not taken, we might either go down or remain in that spot as the year goes by, because we are not going to be playing any more international match. I think March next year, if I'm not mistaken, except probably FIFA is going to use the rating of the home-based Chan Eagles, because they are going to be playing Ghana this weekend and also next weekend. Except if they are going to be making use of those points accrued from those matches. But be that as it may, I think just like you've said, this is our worst ranking in the past 6 years. And well, I think the reason is far-fetched. If this ranking would have been made in the first half, probably like during March or April, we would have been top there, because fresh from the AFCON, we did pretty well at the AFCON. We narrowly missed out on the trophy, and then we came up second. So I think so many things might have played out here, but by and large, there are so many positive to take out from it. Just like you said earlier, that we qualified for the AFCON with a game to spare. I think if we can even say 2 games to spare, because before we played the match against Benin Republic, we've already qualified courtesy of the winning by Libya. So we can still do better. We can do much better. I remember there was a time we were ranked in the top 20, if I still remember vividly. And there was a time when we were top in Africa. So I think we can still do that. We can go back to those glory days and see if we can go back. We just need to go back there, because it's not a good thing that you will see in the African rating that a country like Nigeria that has produced back-to-back African Footballer of the Year, and then we are now in the top 3 in Africa. I think there's something critically wrong with our football. So I think we just need to do what we can to get ourselves to the top 3 in Africa, if not the first.
We need to do what we can to get ourselves to the top 3 in the world, if not in Africa, if not the world. That's what it is. All right, let's quickly look at this one right now. Lookman's market value hits 55 million pounds. As a matter of fact, you know, he was just being crowned as the African Footballer of the Year. Phillips, Ademola Lookman has already seen his stock rise to 55 million pounds in the transfer market, as he continued to enjoy what we call a success on and off the field. And of course, the newly crowned African Player of the Year, Ademola Lookman, have already seen his stock, like I see, rising in the market, and it continues to enjoy this success. And of course, according to the reports that is coming right now, it is coming from a very reliable source that the player statistics and valuation has already climbed to a significant figure. The Nigerian forward stock rise by 15 million pounds, leapfrogging Bayer Leverkusen's Victor Boniface as 45 million pounds to become Nigeria's current second most valuable player, behind Victor Osimhen's 75 million pounds. And as a matter of fact, the 27-year-old winger has already enjoyed what we call a meteoric rise in the last 2 seasons. That's not something to even remind anyone, because the handwriting is so good all the world, cementing his place among Nigeria's most valuable footballers. As the end of the 2023 coming to 2024, Lookman was valued at 30 million pounds. However, an outstanding 12 months saw him gain as much as 25 million pounds in market worth, representing what we call a remarkable 83.33% increase, and that is so commendable. That means well, his value, apart from being the African best, is increased at least financially. What would you have to say about that? Is that commensurable, or you feel it should even be more or less compared to other players?
Well, I think so many things determines a player's value, and one of it is the player's performance. So talking about Ademola Lookman, for him to have garnered this market value price, I think is a good one for him. Ademola Lookman, just like we know, on and off the pitch, is someone that is very calm, easygoing. He's not the type that makes noise. He's not the media type. You can see that even before the award given to him, there were so many fears that he might not win it. And no thanks to the fact that he's not a media kind of person. And then even the Nigerian media space, we didn't also, should I say, we didn't even give him the most publicity as we should have. And he wasn't complaining, because he's someone that is his lifestyle. But I think for his market value to increase now is a very good thing. And the coach have come out to say that he doesn't want to take the credit for Lookman's and should I call it his rise to stardom, or his shining light that is coming up now, that he doesn't want to take the credit that the player has kind of is an easygoing person. Even the dad said it on the day of the award, that he's somebody that likes to encourage himself, keep up the hard work, and does better and better in every game. So I think for the market price to have gone high is something that is good for him. We had the feelers that even for the award night that the PSG president was there, not just because of Hakimi, but he was also there because of Demola Lookman. So I think we can only wish Lookman the best. So many glory days ahead of him. We hope to see him in a bigger club come next season.
We hope to see him in big clubs come next season. Let's quickly look at all the things happening from the world of sport. I think it's so good that a lot of people are congratulating Ademola Lookman after emerging the African Footballer of the Year. And that's not all. So many other things are happening because even the president, the Senate president, the wife of the president, and a lot of people have congratulated him. Now let's get to the CHAN 2024 qualifiers as rivalry with Ghana will be a big motivation for the home Eagles. This is coming from Ugumo Dede. According to the information coming, and well, I think I just want to look at this from a perspective right now because already the 18 players that will be advancing for that game have already been selected, and of course one player that is so outstanding that Nigerians are looking forward to his performance is the Kwara United player who was also named among the 18 players that has been chosen so far. And Daniel Ogumode says the home base Super Eagles are motivated to beat our fierce rivals Ghana. Anytime you call the name Ghana in whether football or anything, no one needs to be told that they are fierce rivals of Nigeria. And as a matter of fact, in this 2024 African Nations Championship qualifiers fixture, Ghana will host Nigeria in their first leg at the Accra Sports Stadium, and that's going to be on Sunday. The Black Galaxy stopped Nigeria from qualifying for the last edition of the competition and managing the pressure and of course expectations surrounding such a high stake game against our own intense rivals is a key focus, according to Gumedede, who emphasized that mental fortitude, maintaining a clear focus on their game, and of course instilling confidence in the players to perform at their best, embracing the rivalry as a motivation rather than anxiety. As a matter of fact, that's a good one coming from somebody of that magnitude. Well, maybe calling out the name of the players that have actually made it so far in that. Time may fail us to actually call the names of all the players that actually made it among the 18 better. One of the outstanding players, well, all the players are good if you've been following the precedent of the CHAN Eagles. We have goalkeeper Henry Zemana of Enyimba FC, Kayode Bankole of Remo Stars. We have defenders Ismaila Sadiq of Remo Stars too. Then we have Lulu Ajetore of Ikorodu City, Imo Obot of Enyimba FC. We have Junior Ndoka of Remo Stars, of Victor Collins. We also have Ifan Onyebuchi. We also have Stephen Malo. Those are the defenders. Then for the midfielders, we have Jide Fatukun, Rabiu Ali of Kano Pillars. I will be surprised if Rabiu didn't make it right here. He's one of the players that a lot of Nigerians are actually rooting for. Then Xavier Isaac of Rangers International. We have Musa Zayad. Then also for the forward, we have Anas Yusuf and Damo Abubakar, Sikiru Alimi of Remo Stars. Well, I was actually expecting Alimi to be in the lineup. Then the almighty Kwara United forward, talking about Emmanuel Ugbele. Then we have Papa Daniel Mustafa of Niger Tornadoes. These are the 18 players that have been selected to face Ghana. Well, I don't know what you are expecting, Phillips, from these 18 players. Are they good to go so far? Because they are actually home-based players from the NPFL that have been picked to actually carry out this assignment. What do you think? Are they a good match for the Ghana Galaxy team?
Well, what more can we expect? After about 2 weeks of close campaign, the coaches have done a good job by coming out with these 18 players because it's not easy. It's not easy actually. They were meant to be actually 23, but one of them couldn't make it to camp. He had, I think, an issue on his way to the camp. That is O.C. Martins of Lobby Stars, so he wasn't there. So out of the 22, the coaches were tasked with the responsibility of dropping at least a player from each of the departments. And so I know they have 4 departments: the goalkeeping, the defender, the midfielders, and the strikers. So they did a great job by dropping one player each, and then we have a total of 18 remaining. So I think kudos to the coaching crew. And then looking at the players that have been picked, if you ask me, this might not be the players who would have urged with send accuracy from the coaching players. Best goal scorer currently is Anas Yusuf of Nasarawa United is there, and is closely chased by Obole and the rest. Obole is also there. Our own Emmanuel Obole. I think yesterday I was talking to the young man and he was having all the hopes. I was telling him how he's going to make the 18th squad, and he was like, by God's grace, he's going to be part of it, and I'm happy that he's part of it. And looking at it, talk about Rabiu Ali, of course, if he wasn't going to be picked, why do you want to bother the old man? Because for crying out loud, he's enjoying his football academy players. He was called upon to come to the camp. Definitely, the coaches have seen something good in him, and that is why he has been picked. And then looking at the defense line, talking about Super Eagles invitee, I mean the main Super Eagles. We have Sadiq, we have what is it called, Collins, and I think we also have the other guy from Rangers. Is it Boke or thereabout? So I'm looking at the goalkeepers. Bankole is there, and the other guy from Enyimba. So I think these are good goalkeepers. These are good players. Some of them have tested the main national team invitation before, and this is a good time for them to showcase to the world that yes, some of them deserve to be part of the main Super Eagles. That is the main, should I call it the Super Eagles A now? But if you look at the rivalry between Nigeria and Ghana, just like you said earlier on, Nigeria and Ghana, even if it's going to be beach Eagles or what is it called, sand Eagles, so long it's going to be Nigeria and Ghana, the rivalry will still come up. So it's just like how will I put it? No matter how it comes, the game is going to be a high clash in terms of rating. So I think going to Ghana to play the first leg, to me, it's an advantage to us, because if we go there, we should just try to maintain at least a score draw. When I mean a score draw, probably a 1-1 or a 2-2. Then when we come home here, we'll try to kill off the game. Remember, this was the same thing that happened to us going to the last World Cup. Our target was to get a score draw in Ghana, but we went to Ghana, we played at a goalless draw. And when they came here, the pressure was on us. They scored us first, we equalized, and before you knew it, the game ended in a 1-1, and then we lost out on the away goal rule. So this time around, thank God we have a good score, we have good strikers that have been banking in goals. Let them just go abroad, and then, let them go to Ghana and pick up at least a goal or two. So that when we come back here to you, we'll just finish up the game, and then we'll be there in the competition proper.
Well, that's a consolation right there. Like he said, we can actually go there and pick, even if it is a draw. If we can't win, let's just get a draw, so that when we return back to Nigeria, we will be able to at least get the winning, and that's going to post us ahead of the Ghana team. Right, Phillips, it's not just the Chan Eagles. The WAFU under-17 girls will also be playing their own game too, and it's still going to be against our arch rival, still talking about Ghana. I don't know why it's Ghana right here, but then the encounter is slated for the Center of Excellence in, of course, Pram, and Nigeria's Flamingo will earn a berth in the final after edging past Benin Republic 2-0 in the semi-final clash on Thursday night. And that was yesterday night. Our host Ghana, Walopa, Cote d'Ivoire 2-5-0. That's where the competition is. You know, Nigeria defeating Benin Republic with that margin. Then, of course, when we talk about Cote d'Ivoire, even though it is the female team, you know how formidable this club is, and of course they were beaten, walloped with a 5-goal, and there was no reply, even though Nigeria actually had their own way with Benin Republic too. But then it's going to be happening now with Nigeria and of course Ghana. What are you thinking? What's on your mind? How is it going to go? Another rival again happening. We talked about the Chan Eagle just a few minutes ago. Now it is the female team. What are you thinking? It is still Ghana here, Bill.
Well, you said why Ghana always. One of the reasons why Ghana always is because we are all West Africans, and most times when CAF do this draw, They usually do it from region. They start with the regions. So this is just one of many fixtures to come. So long as Ghana is qualifying and Nigeria is also qualifying, there's always this high tendency of us meeting each other. It would have been Benin Republic, but if you check out Benin Republic, their female teams are not good. You understand? We check out Benin Republic, their female team are not good. Even their age grade teams are not that good. Apart from the under 20 then that we had during the times of the Amikel Obi, that was in 2005, the Benin Republic team that had the likes of Razak Omotoyosi and the rest of them. Since then, we've not heard much of their age grade team. So most times, what I'm saying in essence is that when it comes to age grade football and local football or whatever, it's always mostly likely going to be Nigeria and the Ghanaians. Even when it comes to club football, most times we see the likes of Ashanti Kotoko, Accra Heart of Oaks, and the rest of them from Ghana, from Accra and Kumasi. So if you look at the pairing, when we are playing against Ghana, just like I said earlier on, it's going to be a different ball game entirely. But I think our Flamingos are good to go. They have a good team. I don't know if their coach is still Lowo Kiri. I don't know, but I know they had a good squad. From them, one of them, I think is now under 20, but she was nominated for the youngest young female footballer of the year, but she narrowly lost it to the Moroccans. So I think there's something to share when it comes to the eight football, when it comes to the female counterpart. So I think nothing short of victory will be expected from the Flamingos come to in their semi-final game.
All right, nothing short of victory coming from the Flamingos game. That's what Philip have just said. Now, moving away from there, Philip, let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll look at the Carabao Cup where Manchester United lost to Tottenham Hotspur. But then Amorim is saying, well, as it is, he's the manager, and he has said his team was not clinical as they lost 4-3 at Tottenham Hotspur in the Carabao Cup quarterfinal yesterday night. The host took a 3-goal advantage, and of course, Amorim, speaking to the media, said, well, we disconnected at the beginning of the second half, and that was difficult if they look at all the games that they have played so far. The best team, but they were more clinical. We lost, but the fight from the lads was really important for Amorim. That's the statement coming from the coach of the Manchester United side. Well, it is Carabao Cup we're talking about here. Before we go on break, can you react on that just briefly before we go on a quick break?
The matter is simple. If you ask me, the coach has no reason to lose the match of yesterday. They were like, it's just like I don't just know what to say, but probably the United fans might have a different story to tell. I, for one, I'm not happy with the situation of things at United, as it has to do with someone like Marcus Rashford. I don't think it is right for Amorim to freeze someone like Rashford out of the team. This is somebody that is a homegrown talent, and if there's anybody that have played for the badge of Manchester United, that one player should be Marcus Rashford. So the way you treat some of these players at times goes a long way to affect the psyche of the club. We saw how they treated someone like Lingard. We saw how they treated someone like Greenwood. We saw how they treated someone like, what is it called? The one in Chelsea now, Sancho. And now Rashford is getting the same treatment. I think some of these things needs to be looked at. Karma is a bitch. It has a way of catching with some of these clubs. So, but by and large, I think United probably is a League Cup, and they've lost out of that one. And the coach said, I don't know if it was the coach that said, but I saw a statement that they are now going to concentrate on the league. I'm like, what? League? So United, well, I don't know what to say. It's too early to say, but I think if he's talking about the league, the best Man United can get this season is probably if they can make the top 4. But if you look at the teams that are competing in that top 4 now, I'm not sure Man United have the firepower to match up with the strength of those teams. Talking about Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, and even Man City. Don't write Man City off. They might be going through a lot now, but when they pick up, I bet you nobody will see their back. So I think Manchester United, Ruben Amorim just need to gear up and brings up his A game to see how he can revive the team back to winning ways.
some of you wouldn't want us to go on a break so that we can continue on the sport, but don't forget that I'm returning in just a jiffy. Let's get a quick break. I'll return for the next of the story. Another angle to the Carabao Cup again, as Arsenal is meant to face Newcastle United. And of course, I know Phillips will want to react to these ASAP, but then let me just take you through just an introduction, just a breakdown to how it's really going to be, as Arsenal will be facing Newcastle United, Liverpool in the semi-final. Arsenal, like I said, will take on Newcastle United, while Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspur will battle it out in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. The draw for the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup was made yesterday night, following Spurs 4-3 victory over Manchester United after reaching the semi-final for the fourth time in the last 7 seasons. Of course, Andrzej Postecoglou's men, of course, will also take on holders Liverpool in the last 4, with the first leg at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Of course, Arne Slot's Reds beat Southampton 1-0 on Wednesday night. If you could remember, I'm taking you back a little bit so that you can get a full grasp of what is actually happening for the Carabao Cup. Newcastle United, who already beat Brentford 3-1 in the quarterfinal, will play Arsenal, who say of Crystal Palace, thanks to Gabriel Jesus' hat-trick with the first leg at the Emirates Stadium. The Carabao Cup semi-final tie will take place over 2 legs across the week commencing January 6th, and of course the week beginning from February 3rd, and that's going to be very, very fantastic. We're talking about the Carabao Cup right here. Some persons concentrate on the EPL alone, but then Carabao Cup, you know what I'm talking about, is not a competition to just be pushed aside. Well, Phillips Uja will be commenting on this. So far so good. We don't know how it's really going to end, but then from one Carabao Cup to the other, Amorim already made his statement. Well, it's good that he gave it to the winning team, but then Arsenal and of course Newcastle's game, then Spurs and Liverpool's game in the semi-final is something to really talk about. Like he said just now, if you get to the EPL, some of the clubs that are at the top right now, well, we're not talking about Manchester United, because Manchester United seems to be doing left, right, back, front and center. They've not known where they are really going to yet, but then I think spectators and fans and supporters are already predicting something, but I won't tell you what they are really predicting. You already know. But then Arsenal in the EPL are up in their game. Liverpool is right there, and of course Chelsea is already making it right there. Then Manchester City, even though the fall of a man is not the end of his life for Manchester City, they must still pick it up. Remember how they have made their mark in the EPL, winning it back to back to back to back. Then let's talk about this Carabao Cup right now. Phillips, are you right there with me? So we can talk about Arsenal facing Newcastle United and Tottenham Hotspur facing Liverpool in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, I'm here. You're talking about the Carabao Cup. The fixture for the semi-final is quite good. Arsenal playing, I think Newcastle, then Liverpool playing Tottenham Hotspur. It's going to be a great fixture to watch out for. And just like you talked about Arsenal, Arsenal winning 3-2 against Crystal Palace. It's just like a case of we talk about Crystal Palace striker, that is Nketiah, Eddie Nketiah, who also scored against his former employers, that is Arsenal. So I think it was a great win, a good win for Mikel Arteta's side. But no disrespect to other teams that have crashed out. I think some big teams have crashed out. Man City have crashed out. Chelsea have crashed out. So whoever wins this EFL Carabao Cup, the person have really tried, because it's not easy to get this far in the competition. So I think most importantly is how these coaches approach this game. You know, for Chelsea, the coach has this philosophy of using his B team or his string side for the Conference League, and I think he have said he's going to maintain that even though it gets to the final. I think that is one of the reasons why a team like Chelsea lost out, because they were made to use some kind of a low strength team against, I think, Tottenham Hotspur, if I'm not wrong, and then they were beaten, and now they have themselves to blame. But I think these other teams remaining playing the final, if a team like should I say a team like Arsenal, we know that for the title they are not just doing what is expected to pile up the pressure on Liverpool. So I think if they win this Carabao Cup, it's going to be a big one for them. So I think the most times you just need to focus where your strength is. You put more effort there where your strength lies, so that you not just go empty-handed. Like in local parlance, we say, make you no go blow empty. So for Arsenal not to blow empty, they should just double their effort and see how they can take home this Carabao trophy.
United captain talking about Gary Neville, who has predicted that Arsenal Football Club would win the 2024-2025 English Premier League. I don't know, are you of the same school of thought? Because before now, we know Arsenal to be escorting the winners, but they never got there. This time, he is predicting, and more so that he is not a captain of Arsenal, Manchester United, and of course, he's supporting Arsenal, that Arsenal will win the league. What do you think? Are you of the same school of thought?
The issue is, I'm sorry to say this, but Gary never talks too much. He's one of those that really didn't, to me, I don't know, my United fans might have a divergent opinion, but I feel he's one of those that didn't really do too well in his playing days. But since he became, should I call him a self-acclaimed pundit, he takes any little stripe to say whatever he feels he wants to say. But I think why Arsenal? Why not talk about his own team, which is a legend, which is Manchester United? But saying Arsenal have what it takes to win the league, I think it's just like him trying to play a mind game on Arsenal or something. Because even the Arsenal coach, I'm not sure he has same opinion as that. Even Chelsea, which we felt they are doing pretty well now, chasing Liverpool, the coach still says he doesn't see his team as a contender, and he has his reasons, and his reasons are genuine. I mean, this is the coach of the team, and he comes up to tell you, this is what I'm seeing in my team. You know that he's a work in progress. But for Gary Neville, I'm not sure he has any stake in Arsenal. He's not a member of the board. He's not an Arsenal legend. And then for him to come out to say Arsenal has the wherewithal to win the league, I think maybe that is sarcasm, or it's just like one of those innuendos, or should I call it a fallacy? Because to me, I don't think that is anything that is coming short of to see the light of the day so soon. If it is not Liverpool, then I think any other team that should go for the league this season might either be Chelsea or maybe Man City again. But for Arsenal, the way they are playing, I'm not sure they are ready to win the title.
All right, so let's go to Wolves right now, where Victor Pereira has been named as the new head coach for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Is that a good move? Is that the coach they need right now?
Well, for Pereira, I think for a coach that have coached a team like FC Porto, I think it's a coach that has the experience, he has the quality to coach a team like Wolves. Wolves have had this issue of coaches lately. I said it the moment they allowed, I think, Nuno Espirito Santo to leave. I said it back then that it is going to be hard for them to get a coach of such pedigree, because that man, if you looked at how the team played, there was a time that if Wolves is playing against a team like Chelsea, you will see that they might give Wolves the lesser odd to win. The chances of Wolves winning was, I think, last 2-3 seasons ago, Wolves was a thorn on everybody's flesh when they still had the likes of Adama Traore, they had the likes of Podence, they had the likes of this guy that went to Liverpool, Jota, and the rest of them, even Pedro Neto. These were teams. I think at them, we were even saying that the coach was building the Portuguese team in England, whereby they had so many Portuguese players. But if you look at the team there, they were a brutal force. If you want to play Wolves, you are going to know that, yes, this is a team to reckon with. I think, should I say they were the Aston Villa of those days? No, playing Aston Villa or a team like Newcastle, they are not in the traditional top four, but anytime you want to play them, you need to put your house together, else you are going to be in for it. So I think for them to get a coach in Pereira, I think is a good one for them. I will hope to see how it turns the table around for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
All right, before we go look at the fixtures for the weekend, Southampton's striker, talking about Paul Onocha, is on the verge of signing a 3-year deal with 16-time Super League champions, talking about Besiktas. Is that a good move?
Well, for Onuachu, it's just like the English league is not his thing. I think this is the second time he's coming back to the English league, and it's not just going well for him. Now let me just use. Yes, can you hear me?
Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. This is what I'm saying.
Hello, Philip.
Let me use this opportunity. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. As soon as we establish the audio, we'll get him in. Because despite strong interest from Trabzonspor, where he actually spent last season on loan, talking about Onocha now, there is a report circulating in the Turkish media that the touring Nigerian forward is set to take another height altogether to make a high-profile return to Turkish football after a standout spell with Trabzonspor. Onocha joined Southampton in the 2023 January transfer window for a fee in the region of 18 million pounds from KRC Genk. But then his time in Hellfire has been a very struggling moment, failing to score in his 20 appearances for the club. His impressive performance during his season-long loan spell with the Black Sea Storm, scoring 17 goals and, of course, providing 4 assists in 31 appearances, has left a lasting impression with Super League clubs not competing for his signature. But then going to Besiktas right now, I think it is a good one. And of course, if you're not good enough, no club will really come for you. It means he's actually good and he's playing his trade. Phillips, do we have you here?
Yes, I'm here. I don't know, but can you hear me now? Can you hear me? My audio is loud and clear.
All right, let's quickly get to the fixtures.
Yes, okay, before the fixture.
Hello, Phillips.
You talked about Paul Onuachu. Yes, I can hear you.
All right, let's quickly look at the fixtures as we begin to round up right now. A whole lot going down over the weekend. Of course, tomorrow is Saturday, and so much is expected tomorrow from the Premier League. Well, from the EPL, you will get to know that a lot of people love football, especially Nigerians, even though you see a lot of them running from the Nigeria Professional Football League, talking about the NPFL. If you want to talk about EPL, they are always there. Let's quickly look at the Premier League fixture for tomorrow, where we have Aston Villa taking on Manchester City, and the time for that game is 1:30. That game is a standout game because a lot of people would want to watch that game. Talking about Aston Villa and of course Manchester City, that have not really been in their usual form. And so a lot of people are saying, hey, come on, you don't need to write them off yet. We're talking about people that have been champions back to back for a very long time in the EPL, and you know what it means, winning the EPL. So that match is going to be going down tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Then we have Brentford taking on Nottingham Forest. That's going to be 4 p.m. Then, of course, Ipswich and, of course, Newcastle United. That game is also going to be 4 p.m. Nigeria time. Then we also have West Ham United. They will be hosting Brighton. West Ham United and Brighton's game is another game to watch out for, and that game is also at 4 p.m. Nigeria time. Then we also look at the last game for tomorrow, which is also set aside for a particular time, which is 6:30 p.m. different time from the other games. Like I always say, any game that is set aside from the usual time of 4 p.m., especially the one for 1:30 p.m. and the one for 6:30 p.m. There are games to watch out for, and one of such games is what we are having tomorrow, Saturday, and that game is going to be between Crystal Palace and of course Arsenal. Arsenal firing from all cylinders this season. You know, a lot of people actually looked down on Arsenal last season, and a lot of people actually talked them down. Not that they did badly, but people were surprised that they always get to the verge of winning, but they never won. I think I don't know what the problem is, but this year again they are still on top of their game, and it is not over until it's over. Let's watch out for what is going to be happening tomorrow. Will Crystal Palace be able to change the game for Arsenal, or Arsenal is still going to fire from all cylinder and maintain their position on the log? All of this we will get to know tomorrow, and the time for that game is 6:30 Nigeria time. We need to go watch out for these various games. So other games will be happening, of course, from different leagues around the world. From League One, we have, of course, Bristol Rovers and, of course, Wrexham, 1:30. Then we also have Lincoln and Reading, the same time, 1:30. Then we have already Bensley and Leon Rent. That game is going to be 4 p.m. and a host of other games. And don't forget that from the La Liga, we have some other games that will also be going down tomorrow, where we have Getafe and of course Mallorca. That game is 4 p.m. We have Celta Vigo and of course Real Sociedad. That game is going to be 4:15 Nigeria time. We have Osasuna as they will take on Atletico Bilbao, and that's another game to watch out for. That game is 6:30. Then the last game from the La Liga from Germany tomorrow, from the German from the La Liga tomorrow, Spanish La Liga, of course. Tomorrow is that of FC Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. That's a game to watch out for. A lot of people who want to watch out for that game put one or two together as far as that game is concerned, and that's the reason the time is separated from all the games. Tomorrow that game is going to be coming at 9 p.m. Nigeria time tomorrow, and those are the fixtures that we will be able to take today. Unfortunately, he couldn't join us. Well, Phillips Uja, you couldn't join us back, probably because of network issue, or I don't know. Phillips, are you there? All right, he is not here, technical issue. A very big thank you to Phillips Uja for joining us today, and a very big thank you to all our fans for staying with us from Monday until Friday. Don't forget that tomorrow will be another time to talk sport again, and this is going to be the size of talk sport for this beautiful Friday morning. We'll come on your way again tomorrow for another wonderful time to talk sport with you. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and have a wonderful weekend ahead of you. Merry Christmas in advance.